Hi everybody, welcome back to the vlog. So I decided that today I'm just gonna kind of do like a little bit of like an update, slash where have I been video. I haven't posted in a while, haven't really filmed anything in a while either. I had originally started filming, a camp with us. We had went camping over Labor Day weekend, and I was going to do a like camping, video, like show you guys like how we set up our camper. We bought a camper that we had to completely gut about a year ago, and so I was going to do like an updated, like what we did to it, use like before pictures, after pictures, whatever. And I had started to film that, and then that weekend I ended up hitting a deer and wrecking my car. Not horrible. Like obviously I'm fine. Airbags didn't deploy, nothing like that. But obviously it wasn't drivable. And it is still in the shop. It's been about a month now, so love that for me. Luckily we have another, like a spare vehicle. It's the first vehicle that I ever bought myself. I mean, like I had a car in high school, that my parents bought for me, which I know I'm very lucky. A lot of people don't get that. But it was the first car that I bought myself and paid off, and I've just kept it. It's like a 2012 Kia Sorento. So, I mean, it's a decent car. Like it's nice and it's in good shape. But my husband usually just drove it back and forth to work, to save miles on his car or on his truck, and then also to not have to spend as much money in gas, even though his drive isn't that far. But it was better to just keep the miles off of his brand new pickup truck than it was to, drive back and forth to work every single. So, yeah, so I've just been driving my old car, while I wait for my Traverse to be fixed. And so that happened, and, which I've kind of like touched on this too, about my grandparents, being, not in the greatest health. I have been lucky enough to have grown up with, I had met both sets of, well, yes, both sets of great grandparents, or all my sets of great grandparents. So, except for, yeah, no, I did. I met all of them. Yeah, okay. So a couple of them died when I was younger, so I don't really remember a whole lot of them, but I had like just like the last great grandparent that passed away was like 5 or 6 years ago. So, and I'm 27. So I, was luckily able to grow up with a lot of my grandparents. And then my dad's mom, so my paternal grandmother, passed away almost 3 years ago now. So I still have my grandfather, my dad's dad, that grandfather, and then I also have my mom's mom and dad. And my mom's mom and dad are the grandparents that have been kind of in not good of health. My grandfather was diagnosed with dementia, Alzheimer's. He's been in a memory care unit for 4 months now, almost, for the first 10 weeks that he was, because he was not safe to be at home anymore. The first 10 weeks that he was somewhere, we were not allowed to see him. So that was very difficult. I'm very close with all of my grandparents, but I would say I'm probably closer with that set of grandparents, more than anything. I lived with them when I went to cosmetology school. They just recently moved back to the town that I live in now. So they lived 3 minutes down the road. My grandpa would come to my place of business every single day. And I would see him every single day. I would see my grandma every single day. So that was a little difficult. My dogs and my cat are probably going to interrupt this video a little bit, so I apologize for any background noise. So yeah, so that was difficult. We finally got him moved to, a nursing home that was close to us. It was only like 20 to 30 minutes away. He ended up only being there for about 36 hours. And then they moved him out. We're not really sure why. That's still kind of under a thing. We're not really sure why they sent him away. And they essentially took him by ambulance to an ER. And then we found a place in that was about 45 minutes away from our house, 45 to 50 minutes one way. So we took him there, and he had been there for about almost a month actually. Yeah, he was there for pretty much a month. And then he got moved out again. But we're trying to get him moved to another facility. My grandpa is a veteran, and he had Agent Orange exposure. So there is an Agent Orange benefit that we have been in the process of getting for him for the last, dogs went crazy. Anyway, so what I was talking about was the fact that my grandfather was exposed to Agent Orange. We've been in the process of getting him the Agent Orange benefit for almost 3 years now. So he was just a week or so ago, almost a week ago, was moved back out of the nursing home he was in, because he's kind of aggressive. Yeah, that's about all I want to touch on that. I think, he's had some aggressive behavior, and so they moved him back, and he is now at a VA hospital, in hopes that that will push the VA and the government to, work a little bit faster on getting what percentage of benefit he gets, to find a more permanent facility for him that will be able to actually care for his needs. So that was happening at the same time, has been happening, is still happening. It's everyday thing. But around Labor Day weekend, my grandmother, also got very, sick, and, she's still trying to get into, my cat is being crazy. Still trying to get into a urologist to figure out exactly what is going on. She essentially passed a huge kidney stone while in bed, to the point that it caused her to pass out. She was not able to get to her phone until hours after the fact. Like, this happened late morning, and it was almost late afternoon when she was finally able to call one of us. We took her to the hospital. She was essentially septic. We're not sure if she has a lump in one of her kidneys, and then she has kidney stones in the other. So we're waiting on the urologist to get back with her to determine if the mass in her one kidney is cancerous or not. And so she was in the hospital for a few days because she was septic, and then she was so weak because of all of it that she then went to a rehab hospital, and she wasn't able to drive. And so, since I live in town, I was the one who was driving her. So that was also chaotic, obviously worrisome. I already have bad anxiety anyway, so adding all of this on top of it obviously didn't help that. And then on top of it all, my business is already a seasonal business. We actually stayed open all year last year, just because we'd never done it before, and because of COVID. We don't have indoor seating, so it kind of worked out perfect. People just come up to get their food anyways. We have outdoor seating and stuff. And then I put in a temporary drive-through as well. So we stayed open for the whole year, through winter and everything. We've never done that before. I decided that this year I did not want to do that. And so my plan was to close at the end of October. Well, here we are. As we all know, because of the C word, there is a lot of shortages. There's a lot of people that aren't working and don't want to work. I employ mainly younger kids, high school age kids. I do have a few adults and older kids that are out of high school that are over the age of 18 that work for me. But I was having issues with getting supplies. I was having issues with getting certain food items. I was having issues, most recently, with getting paper products, foam cups that we use for our fountain drinks. Couldn't get those. Couldn't get a lot of our plastic, condiment cups, things like that. So that was causing a big issue, because what am I supposed to do if I don't have these things? These are the things that I need to make my business run, and I wasn't able to get them anywhere. So that was kind of frustrating. And also just, what do you do if you don't have it? You just don't have it. You try to find another alternative. If you can't find another alternative, what do you do? So, and then I was having issues with, not having any help. In the last week, I had 3 people get quarantined, 2 of which were my daytime help. And I've also had a lot of issues with getting kids to be able to work on the weekends. So the last 2 Fridays, I had to close early, which I don't like to do. This last week, we had like half of a shift, and then this week I was not going to be open at all on Friday and only have one shift of 4 kids, because that's all I had to work for the entire day. We usually do 2 shifts, one in the morning, one at night. So we were only going to be open from like 11 to 7, and yeah, so I just decided that we were going to be closed for the season. It was kind of abrupt. I mean, I had been planning for it. I hadn't been over ordering food and things like that. That way there wouldn't be things going to waste. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. It is the weirdest time. If you're a business owner, restaurant owner, especially, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's something. It's something I don't think any of us will ever forget in our lifetime. So yeah, so I'm closed now for the season. I still have to go in and like close everything up, shut more things down. It's like we have like our gas grill, like I disconnect the gas line, you know, things like that to get it like ready to be closed up for the winter time. So yeah, so that happened. Today is Wednesday. I decided that on Monday. Yesterday was the first day we were closed the whole day, and I started subbing again, which I've always had my substitute license. Ever since I graduated, I always like went back out to the school that is in our town, the school I went to. My mom works at the elementary there. I have a cousin that I have actually subbed for today that works out there in the elementary as well, and so they're really short on subs, as you can imagine, because everywhere is short on people right now. And so, yeah, so her grandmother, which, she's my cousin, but it was on her dad's side. We're related on her mom's side. Her dad's mom passed away yesterday. And so, I subbed for her today. I'm subbing for her tomorrow, and then, subbing for her on Monday and Tuesday, because I was not able to on Friday. So I did that today. That was interesting. If you are a teacher or work in the school system, my hat's off to you. I say this all the time because my mom has been a teacher for almost 30 years, and yeah, it's a lot right now. Kids are crazy. That's all I'm going to say about that. And so, yeah, so I've just been a little bit busy. I kind of took, well, I don't want to say that we took time off of the TTC thing, but last month I was just kind of over it, and I was tired of testing every day. So I stopped doing that last cycle. I had a 32-day cycle versus a 28-day cycle like I had been having. So, but I think a lot of that was due to stress, because I have been way more stressed out in the most recent weeks and months than I have been in a long time. So, I'm always stressed. I always have some level of stress, but there's a lot of things going on. Oh, and on top of that as well, I almost forgot about this. A couple weeks ago, my husband's grandmother, his dad's mom, and his uncle, which was also on his dad's side, both passed away due to the C word. So that was thrown into the mix as well. They both went on vacation together, came back, got sick. Uncle went to the hospital first, was put on a vent, passed away. Grandmother went to the hospital a week after he did, was also put on a vent, passed away. So yeah, it has been very crazy. And yeah, but now that I have some more free time, I'm hoping to do more videos and post more. So yeah, I'm tracking this time. I'm tracking my cycle this time, which I guess I have my little, I decided I have my app, and I put into my app, like, when I start my period, when I end my period, things like that. And I used to like take pictures of all of I used to like, when I first started, like over a year ago, back in June or July of last year, I had like a book and I put the strips, like I did everything in the book, and then I would take pictures of each strip and I would upload it into my app as well. That just got really time consuming, and I didn't want to do the paper thing anymore, so then I was just using the app. But then I also kind of like wish that I would have like kept the strips, because on my app it doesn't really show you, like you can't click something and look at all of the strips like right next to each other, if that makes sense. And so I decided that I was going to get myself a little notebook and keep track. So I'll show you like kind of what I've done, which I will, let me flip the camera around because it's going to be really hard to see this because it'll be backwards. So just a second. Okay, so as you can see, I started writing this out. So cycle number 17, I put at the top like 9:25, that's when my period first started. And then I'm just keeping track here. So I started taking test strips on cycle day 9. And this one that I took yesterday, I drank a lot of water yesterday and I peed a lot. And so this one was super diluted pee. So I think that's why it's so light, but I would imagine it would probably be the same as this. According to my app, since I had a 32-day cycle, it's telling me that I didn't ovulate until cycle day 16, I think, where it had recently predicted me to be on cycle day 14. So essentially what I'm doing, so we are trying the every other day, and then when it gets close to like ovulation every day, that's what my doctor wanted us to try. And I go back to see her in November or so. I'll flip this back around so I can talk to you guys again. So I go back to see my OBGYN on November, I think it's like the first or second week of November, something like that. And so that's when we would potentially start Clomid. That's what she talked about last time, if I didn't end up pregnant by then. But I don't think I will, because I'm pretty for sure that I'm not ovulating on my own, which has been my concern ever since like January. Pretty sure the last time I 100% know that I ovulated was in my cycle in December, end of December, because the last few days of December is when I found out that I was pregnant, and then I wasn't pregnant anymore. So I had an early miscarriage, chemical pregnancy, whatever you'd want to call it. And so I'm pretty sure that was the last time that I for sure ovulated. I had the C word at the very end, so like at Christmas, December, obviously, because that's when Christmas is. And they said that they thought that it was because of me being sick with COVID that caused it. I kind of told myself that for a while because, as you all know, I had a horrible OBGYN that I do not go to anymore and have switched, and I'm glad that I did. It's probably the best thing I've ever done. I'm just sad that I didn't do it sooner than I did. But that's what he told me that he thought it was. But I think that there's a lot of other things. I think that with the PCOS, I mean, and that could have had something to do with it. So yeah, so, but I think there was some other underlying, this is my life. But I think that there was other underlying causes to that. I don't just think it was from that. I mean, it could have been a little bit from that, but I think after everything else that I've done, you know, and now that I went to this new doctor, I think that there were some other issues too that went into that. So I'm not going to say that that was the only reason why it happened, but I mean, it could have been part of it. Yes. So yeah, so I guess I'm going to keep testing to see if I even get a positive OPK. I don't know if I will. Either way, we're just going to keep doing the every other day thing. And if I get a peak, then we'll do every day after that. because that's all I can do. But yeah, so there's my little life update. Like I said, I'm going to try and post more, especially since this cycle we are actually like working on trying, and I'm actually testing every day. And yeah, and I think too, it's going to be a lot easier for me to test because when my business is open, I don't get home until like 11:30 every single night. And obviously like days that my husband has to work the next day, he's going to bed, and then we don't go to bed together, and it's just a lot sometimes. It really is. I mean, I love it most of the time. But yeah, I think I'm excited that it's closed and that we're done. There's Benson in the background. Just because I think it's going to be a big weight off of my shoulders and allow me to maybe relax a little bit more and see if that helps. I'm sure it will. Can't hurt, right? So, yeah, so I will, hopefully do some more, vlogs or update videos on testing and showing you guys progressions of OPKs, hopefully if they actually progress. And then once I ovulate, if I do for sure ovulate, then we'll do some pregnancy tests too. And hopefully this will be our cycle, but I feel like I don't tell myself that anymore because I don't want to get my hopes up. And every single time I do, and every single time I get hurt. So it's best to just have a guarded heart. So but yeah, so I will see you guys next time, and make sure you like the video, leave a comment below. I like to, see what you guys like are going through as well. Hopefully I would like to eventually use this platform to help people that either own a business, have a lot of like stress in their life, and yeah, or are TTCing just like I am and have the same issues that I do. Maybe we can bounce things off of each other, bounce ideas off of each other. But yeah, that's what my hope is with this channel. So I hope you guys will subscribe and follow me. And yeah, like, let's just get through life. That's my motto. So see you guys next time.